thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really want to go fronts, but
October 29, 2003 marked a collision between unprecedented expectation and the reality of professional basketball at Arco Arena in Sacramento. LeBron James stepped onto the floor for the Cleveland Cavaliers, surrounded by a media presence usually reserved for the NBA Finals. Every lens in the building focused on an 18-year-old who had not yet played a single minute of college or professional ball.
Another moment indelibly etched in time is in LeBron James. Another iconic moment.
The atmosphere inside the arena vibrated with a mixture of awe and intense scrutiny as the teenager began his pregame routine. This game represented more than a season opener because it functioned as a public trial for a player labeled as a savior before his first official shot. Public discourse surrounding the entry of LeBron James into the league centered on the chosen one moniker that followed him from high school. Skepticism from established NBA veterans created a hostile environment for his arrival. Several professional players publicly questioned whether a teenager possessed the physical strength or mental stamina to compete against grown men. This doubt was rooted in the history of prep-to-pro players who often struggled with the speed and brutality of the NBA game. The transition from playing against teenagers to facing the Sacramento Kings required a level of physical maturity that many experts believed was impossible for an 18-year-old to achieve overnight. The warm-up period showcased the physical specimen that LeBron James had become even before his 19th birthday. He moved with a combination of size and fluid athleticism that contradicted the typical rookie profile. Sacramento fans filled the seats early to catch glimpses of the player who had dominated national headlines. The sheer volume of national media members stationed along the sidelines broke regular season records for a game in Sacramento. Photographers crowded the baseline to capture the first images of a new era in basketball history. Veteran players in the league viewed the arrival of LeBron James as a threat to the established hierarchy. Their public dismissal served as a defensive mechanism against the massive hype generated by the press. This skepticism provided the primary tension of the evening because the physical jump to the NBA is a difficult hurdle for any young athlete. If the teenager failed to handle the physicality of the Kings' defense, the chosen one narrative would have collapsed within 48 minutes. Success depended on proving that his high school dominance translated to a league filled with elite rim protectors and savvy perimeter defenders. LeBron James positioned himself on the right baseline during the opening minutes of the contest at the Arco Arena. He received a pass from a teammate and immediately rose for a jump shot that cleared the outstretched arms of the Sacramento defenders.
Virtually tackling him, James uses the strength to complete.
Now, just watch. There's only a sliver of... He gets through it. Now, Pierce has been fouling him.
Screen Anthony.
The ball dropped through the net to record the first 2 points of his professional career. This successful jumper confirmed that the teenager could create his own shot against elite competition without relying solely on his size. He followed this opening bucket by converting his next 2 field goal attempts with identical precision.
On a drive by Raymond Felton, knocked away by LeBron James.
You knew it was coming.
Oh my gosh.
45 Dexter Pittman.
A 3-for-3 start from the floor demonstrated a level of comfort that silenced the home crowd in Sacramento. These early buckets removed the psychological burden often associated with the most anticipated debut in basketball history. The lack of visible nerves during this opening stretch indicated that LeBron James possessed a mental maturity that matched his physical gifts. Most rookies experience a period of frantic play or shooting slumps when facing the intensity of a professional regular season game. James operated with a deliberate pace that controlled the offensive flow for his teammates from the opening tip. His efficiency from the mid-range forced the Kings to tighten their perimeter coverage, which opened driving lanes for the rest of the Cleveland players. This immediate impact debunked the theory that a high school athlete would need months to adjust to the speed of the NBA. He looked like a veteran who had spent years navigating professional spacing and defensive rotations. The technical proficiency displayed in the first quarter established a high baseline for his performance that evening. Physical disparity between the 18-year-old and seasoned professionals became obvious once the game moved into the open court.
Nothing else happens. They're happy now.
McGee pokes it away. James up and under, throws it off the back. What a perfect pass to himself. And how about this?
James accelerated toward the opposite basket on multiple possessions, leaving veteran defenders trailing behind his stride. This raw speed forced Kings players into a retreat that they could not sustain against a player of his mass. A signature moment arrived when James took flight for a powerful two-handed dunk on a fast break, rattling the rim at the Arco Arena. Such displays of verticality and strength proved that his high school dominance was not merely a result of playing against smaller competition. NBA starters struggled to impede his path to the rim without committing fouls. as his momentum in transition was nearly impossible to halt.
You're wondering, why was LeBron James at the half-court circle while he was contested by Dame and just shrieked out afterwards?
Miller with a steal. James.
The speed he maintained while handling the ball mirrored that of elite point guards, yet he carried the frame of a forward. Observation of James navigating the floor in Sacramento revealed a technical advantage that went beyond simple athleticism. Most athletes of his size sacrifice lateral quickness for strength, but he showcased an ability to change direction at full speed without losing control of the ball. This mobility allowed him to bypass defenders before their interior help could rotate into position. His presence in the fast break altered the geometry of the game, forcing the home team to commit multiple defenders to the paint. Kings defenders appeared uncharacteristically vulnerable against the rookie's downhill attacking style. His performance established that his physical frame was already at an elite professional standard, rendering the jump from high school irrelevant in terms of physicality. He outmuscled established players in the lane, confirming that his body was prepared for the 82-game grind. James manipulated the Sacramento defense by using his eyes to freeze help defenders before firing passes to open teammates. One specific play at the Arco Arena involved a no-look pass in transition that found a teammate for an easy basket. This level of floor generalship was rare for a teenager making his professional debut against a seasoned Western Conference powerhouse. He functioned as the primary playmaker for the Cleveland Cavaliers, directing traffic and ensuring the offense remained fluid. His ability to find cutters and spot-up shooters forced the Kings to respect every player on the floor. This unselfishness prevented the defense from collapsing entirely on his own scoring threats. He prioritized the correct basketball play over personal statistics, demonstrating a level of maturity that contradicted his age. Elite court vision translated into 9 assists and 4 steals, providing statistical evidence of a high basketball IQ. Rookies often struggle with the speed of the NBA game, leading to high turnover rates and defensive lapses. James avoided these typical pitfalls by reading passing lanes and anticipating offensive sets before they developed. The 4 steals indicated a defensive awareness that allowed him to disrupt the Kings' ball movement without gambling unnecessarily. Recording 9 assists in a debut remains an anomaly for a player entering directly from high school. This production validated the belief that his greatest asset was his mind, rather than his vertical leap. He understood the timing of the professional game immediately, facilitating an offense that stayed competitive until the final period. The distribution of the ball kept his teammates engaged and forced the veteran Kings roster to stay disciplined. LeBron James maintained a steady scoring output through the closing minutes of the game at Arco Arena. He reached a final total of 25 points while shooting 12 of 20 from the field. This 60% shooting clip contradicted the typical narrative that a high school player would struggle with professional efficiency. James selected his shots carefully, avoiding the low percentage attempts that often plague rookie debuts. The final score of 106-92 resulted in a Cleveland loss. Yet the performance secured a record. His 25 points became the highest total ever recorded by a prep-to-pro player in their first NBA game. Every basket in the fourth quarter reinforced the fact that he could score against a veteran defense without needing an excessive number of attempts to find his rhythm. The efficiency metrics from this debut game shifted the conversation regarding the offensive ceiling for teenage prospects. Most players entering the league directly from high school require years to develop consistent shot selection. James proved that his decision-making was already at a professional level by converting 60% of his field goals over 42 minutes of play. He prioritized high-percentage looks near the basket rather than settling for contested perimeter shots. This statistical profile debunked the theory that he would function as a volume shooter who required dozens of attempts to reach a high point total. The ability to remain efficient while carrying a heavy offensive load against the Sacramento Kings confirmed his physical and mental readiness for the league. His scoring resulted from identifying and exploiting defensive weaknesses rather than relying on luck. The performance at Arco Arena on October 29, 2003 transformed global expectations from speculative hype into a sense of inevitability. LeBron James faced a level of scrutiny typically reserved for established superstars before he ever played a professional minute. His ability to set the scoring record for a debutant coming directly from high school validated the record-breaking endorsement contract signed before his first game. Critics in Sacramento who questioned the financial investment in a teenager found no evidence to support their skepticism. This single night established that the physical and technical gap between high school and the professional ranks was a hurdle James had already cleared. The narrative shifted from whether he could play to how long he would dominate. The final buzzer confirmed a victory for the Sacramento Kings, but the attention remained fixed on the teenager who had just changed the league's trajectory. LeBron James walked toward the center of the court to acknowledge his opponents after logging significant minutes in his first professional outing.
Goodness, power, speed, athleticism.
Rashard Lewis playing off the ball. Lewis gets it to LeBron.
The interaction between the rookie and veteran players signaled a begrudging respect for his performance. Composure in a hostile environment suggested the road arena was no different from a high school gym. This departure from the court marked the end of his status as a prospect and the beginning of his role as the face of the franchise. The official record shows a loss for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but the historical weight of the game rests entirely on the individual performance. The achievement of 25 points in a professional debut established a level of production that remained consistent for 20 years. This scoring output ensured that his impact was undeniable regardless of the final score. The night served as the definitive proof that the media coverage surrounding his entry into the league was grounded in reality. Unprecedented physical durability and skill defined the career following this foundation. The era of the chosen one had transitioned from a marketing slogan into a documented reality.